How's it going, everybody? I'm Stella Chung, and this is the Weekly Fix, the show where we round up all the gaming and entertainment headlines you may have missed this week. Elden Ring is still on everyone's mind as the game experiences many launch bugs with patches on the way, plus we have the scoop on this month's Game Pass games. In the entertainment world, the villain in Dragon Ball Super Superhero has been revealed, and the Daredevil is confirmed to return to the MCU. Hopefully Elden Ring has been treating you well out there, and let's get to it.
Elden Ring is on everyone's mind, Twitter feed, and Google search, but as the game rolls into your time zone for release, Bandai Namco has some advice before you traverse the lands between. Announced in a news post, the 1.02 patch for PlayStation and Xbox versions of the game addresses a few issues such as controls and frame rate drops, and players are being advised by Bandai Namco that they should definitely install the update before playing. The Elden Ring 1.02 patch notes addresses key elements from improving player controls, adjustments to text, balance, and background music to fixing some other bugs that prevented Xbox wireless headsets from working properly. This patch should be installed before playing the game, and players may need to manually check for an update before starting. The publisher also mentioned players should apply the patch to the digital art book and soundtrack included in the digital deluxe edition. With Elden Ring arriving today on PC and around the world across most platforms, it's important to note that players can preload the game in advance. You know, just in case. Elden Ring is getting rave reviews all across the board, like our own glowing review on the game, and even Metacritic gave it a 92. So it's a good idea to heed Bandai Namco's warning and play the game the way it's meant to be played. In a news statement by Bandai Namco, the publisher apologized for a number of performance issues affecting Elden Ring players that span from frame rate drops, gameplay issues, and even an inability to save the game. Yikes. It seems even Elden Ring is not safe from day one launch problems, as the game's current state suffers from frame rate drops, stuttering issues, and even crashes. The game currently has mixed reviews on Steam as players focus on the blatant fact that console versions of the game received an update to alleviate frame rate problems, but no such update was made available for PC. Beyond struggling to maintain 60 frames per second in 1080p on a 3080, most players see the game crashing while others have massive drops to the mid-20s. Some players are also experiencing inconsistent mouse sensitivity, issues with the easy anti-cheat system failing to launch, and a weird phenomenon where the game does not save correctly on the PlayStation 5. Bandai Namco acknowledges the problem and has assured players they are working to improve the game so that it can be played properly on various PC environments and platforms. The publisher has also suggested updating graphic card drivers to help alleviate the issues. Other temporary fixes, from changing your PC system's graphic settings to altering device settings, could also address some of the problems experienced. For PlayStation 5 players, manually saving the game is highly recommended, as unexpectedly turning off the game while playing may result in data not being saved. Despite these issues, the game is still one of the best reviewed games in modern history, so most seem to be forgiving Bandai Namco for some bumps on the road. Moving on, the DICE Awards have concluded, and we have the winners of this year's 23 categories. The genre-bending platform adventure co-op game It Takes Two took home both Game of the Year and Outstanding Achievement in Game Design. Congrats to developer Hazelight Studios. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, the third-person shooter platformer game developed by Insomniac Games and Sony Interactive Entertainment, won 3 awards for Outstanding Achievement in Animation, Outstanding Achievement in Art Direction, and Family Game of the Year. Tying Ratchet for the most wins at DICE is the third-person shooter roguelike video game developed by Housemarque. Returnal won the award for Outstanding Achievement in Original Music Composition, Outstanding Achievement in Audio Design, and Outstanding Technical Achievement. Halo Infinite also received some awards for Action Game of the Year and Online Game of the Year, while Guardians of the Galaxy received Outstanding Achievement in Story and Adventure Game of the Year. The award for Outstanding Achievement in Character went to Resident Evil Village's Lady Dimitrescu, aka Maggie Robertson, because let's just be real, her performance is Emmy-worthy. Other notable awards include Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker winning Role-Playing Game of the Year and Guilty Gear Strive winning Fighting Game of the Year. To see the full list of winners, be sure to check out our article on IGN. To celebrate Pokemon's 26th birthday, the Pokemon Company held the Pokemon Day event, complete with tons of news, free gifts, announcements, and more. The highlight of Pokemon Day was the unveiling of the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet heading to Nintendo Switch in 2022. The brand new open-world Pokemon adventure game developed by Game Freak will feature a new region, 3 new Gen 9 starter Pokemon, and so much more. Trainers will choose between the fickle and attention-seeking grass cat Pokemon, Sprig Gatito, the laid-back fire croc Pokemon, Fuecoco, or the earnest and tidy duckling Pokemon Quaxley. They are so cute! Though these were the only new Pokemon revealed so far, we've been able to confirm 50 Pokemon for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. You can see glimpses of Magnemite, Larvitar, Pikachu, Meowth, Psyduck, and many more. We've got the full list of Pokemon on IGN's website if you're curious. What makes the new open world so different from previous Pokemon games is that various towns seamlessly blend into the wilderness with no borders, and Pokemon can be seen everywhere in the wide open world, whether in the skies, sea, or even on the streets. In addition to this announcement, the Pokemon Company also announced that Pokemon Legends Arceus Daybreak update has arrived, with trainers investigating mysterious mass outbreaks of Pokemon all over Hisui region where they can battle powerful Pokemon. Trainers can also receive 30 Ultra Balls, Gigaton Balls, and Jet Balls by entering password Arceus Adventure in the Mysterious Gifts menu before March 31st, 2022. Not to mention, a new online animated series set in Pokemon Legends Arceus Hisui region will launch later this year with an original story. But wait, there's more. A lot more. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl trainers will be able to add Shaman to their party using the item called Oak's Letter, received as a mystery gift by talking to Professor Oak on Route 224. Pokemon Go trainers will start to see Pokemon Sun and Moon's Alola region Pokemon appearing in the game on March 1st. Pokemon Masters EX trainers can earn 3,000 gems and scout 10 sync pairs each day for 10 days for free. So get to it! Also, trainers May, Skyla, and Raihan will become available in special outfits in the game. Those playing Pokemon Cafe Remix can enjoy a login bonus of a celebratory outfit for Bulbasaur, a 4-day period of increased chances of shiny Piplup appearing, and a chance to try out the game's new delivery feature 11 times for free. Pokemon Unite trainers will get the chance to play the mythical Pokemon Hoopa for a limited time in celebration of Pokemon Day 2022. And we were teased with the next Pokemon to join their roster, Duraludon. In addition, those that log in between now and March 14th will receive a Pokemon Day hat and t-shirt in-game. Phew, that's a lot of Pokemon.
Meowth! That's right!
Moving on, Elden Ring has been dominating the gaming sphere ever since it launched February 25th on Steam, and it hasn't stopped growing in popularity since. Per Steam DB data, Elden Ring has hit record peak concurrent users every day since its release, and that number has bumped up from 764,000 to 891,000 players. As it stands, Elden Ring has peaked at 891,638, placing it 7th in the all-time list behind New World. It's closing the gap though, approaching New World's 6th place at only 21,996 peak concurrent users behind. If the trend continues, we could see it take the 6th spot, but considering weekdays traditionally see lower playing numbers than the weekends, this trend might change a little further down the line. Elden Ring is currently 7th on the list of peak concurrent users, behind New World, Cyberpunk 2077, Dota 2, Counter-Strike Go, Lost Ark, and PUBG Battlegrounds in first. So if you want to see Elden Ring beat New World's numbers, then go back into the lands between and don't forget to bring a friend. Xbox Game Pass games for the month of March have been revealed, and it looks like we got some really good ones this time around. Available right now on Xbox Game Pass for March are the Atmosphere vehicle adventure game Far Changing Tides and Microsoft Flight Simulator. Set sail in far-changing tides as you face perils in the open waters, environmental dangers, and overcome puzzles in this captivating and beautifully illustrated world aboard your extraordinary ship. Raise mast, hoist, and angle the sails, and light the furnace as you learn to sail the ocean while facing the reality of the world lost to a flood. In Microsoft Flight Simulator, fly all types of aircraft in a highly detailed and accurate simulation that tests your piloting skills against real-life challenges like flying at night, real-time atmospheric conditions, and dynamic weather. The stunning details and realistic gameplay will have players feeling exhilarated and free. Final Fantasy XIII Lightning Returns is also coming to Xbox Game Pass. The final installment to the Final Fantasy XIII series has you play as Lightning working to save the souls of humanity before the end of the world. Seeing old friends and allies, Lightning faces challenges, terrible monsters, and enemies while staying true to her mission and faith. Lightning Returns releases on Xbox Game Pass March 3rd. Kentucky Route Zero is a magical, realist adventure game that tells the story of a secret highway running through caves under Kentucky. Learn about the mysterious folks who travel it in a 5-act game developed and published episodically over 7 years. Kentucky Route Zero releases on Xbox Game Pass March 10th. Lawn Mowing Simulator comes to Xbox Game Pass with its beautifully detailed mowing experience in the great British countryside. The only simulator that lets you ride authentic, real-world licensed lawnmowers and learn the ins and outs of managing your own mowing business. Lawn Mowing Simulator also releases on Xbox Game Pass March 10th. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy arrives on Xbox Game Pass, bringing tons of fun single-player action full of cosmic comic book flavor. You play as Star-Lord, so you know you're in for a wild adventure with epic combat style and of course Guardians fighting along with you. Call the shots and deliver synchronized attacks to save the universe, while also turning up the volume to cruise to an all-star 80s mixtape. Guardians of the Galaxy hits Xbox Game Pass March 10th. Lastly, Young Souls is a beautiful 2D brawler that combines story-rich action RPG elements and incredible gameplay to provide a one-of-a-kind experience as players fight hordes of goblins while leveling up hundreds of weapons and accessories and exploring the enchanted world. Play as orphans Jen and Tristan, who one day find out the mysterious scientist that took them in suddenly vanished. In searching for him, they find a portal that takes them to a world of goblins. Uncover the truth and fight over 20 fearsome bosses in Young Souls, releasing on Xbox Game Pass March 10th. In other news, Twitch streamer Hassan Piker, also known as Hassan Abib, raised over $100,000 for Ukraine relief in partnership with CARE in less than half an hour yesterday. When Hassan started streaming, he didn't have a donation goal, but after clearing $86,000 in donation, CARE stepped in to set a goal of $100K, which was promptly surpassed. And after his 8-hour stream, he managed to bring in over $150,000. On top of all the donations from viewers, Hassan also donated $10 for every death he succumbed to in Elden Ring, which stacked up to a whopping $25,000 so far. That's a lot of dying, Hassan, but it's for a good cause, so I'm not complaining. Outside of the stream, CARE is accepting donations providing immediate aid, food, water, hygiene kits, psychosocial support, and cash assistance for families in the country and refugees. In an open letter to Xbox and PlayStation, Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister Mikhailo Fedorov called on all game development and esports companies to temporarily stop support for Russia and Belarus. On Twitter, Fedorov tagged both Xbox and PlayStation with the message, "You are definitely aware of what is happening in Ukraine right now. Russia declared war not for Ukraine, but for all civilized world. If you support human values, you should leave the Russian market." The open letter calls for temporarily blocking all Russian and Belarusian accounts, temporarily halting participation of Russia and Belarusian teams and gamers in international esports events, and canceling international events being held in territories of Russia and Belarus. The inclusion of Belarus in this statement is due to Belarusian support of Russia's invasion. The gaming industry has found ways to support Ukraine through a number of fundraising efforts, but besides one platformer, Little Orpheus, being delayed due to its Soviet-related storyline, there have been no games pulled from release in Russia. This is in stark contrast to the film industry, which has seen Disney, Sony Pictures, and Warner Brothers all pull movie releases from the country. Microsoft and Sony Interactive Entertainment have yet to comment on the open letter. In other news, Bungie warns Destiny 2 players that if they try to play the game on a Steam Deck, their accounts may be banned. Destiny 2 could eventually work if Windows was natively installed on the Steam Deck, but due to an unreleased graphics driver for the machine's GPU, Windows cannot run effectively. Other popular games like Fortnite, Halo Infinite, and Lost Ark also aren't currently compatible with the Steam Deck because they use an anti-cheat system that isn't supported by Proton. So Bungie pretty much says don't try and play Destiny 2 on the Steam Deck, it's not worth the risk. You have been warned.
It's time to take a quick break. When we come back, Disney Plus has added some TV MA shows to the service for the first time, and we have news on who Goku and the gang will be taking on in the new Dragon Ball Super movie. See you in a bit. Welcome back! Charlie Cox has confirmed that his character Daredevil will return to the MCU. But before passing that bar exam, the new Dragon Ball Super film superhero has revealed the evil scientist villain of the movie. Who is this new antagonist Goku and the gang will take on? Let's find out more.
As we inch ever so closer to the April 22nd Japan release of Dragon Ball Super Hero, more information is emerging about the young evil genius set to cause trouble for the Z Fighters in the upcoming anime film. Now revealed during the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour event held a few days ago, a new clip was shown of Dr. Hado showing him leaving what appears to be a maximum security facility, which he manages to blow up with a single bomb. Now this short clip has gotten the anime community buzzing since its release, as it's likely we'll be seeing the evil scientist's origin story in the film. Now, for those unfamiliar with Dr. Hado, he's a scientist working for the Red Ribbon Army and the creator of the twin androids Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. He's set to be the main antagonist in the movie and possibly quite the prickly thorn in the sides of our superheroes. Also revealed at the event was promotional material of Goten and Trunks aged up, with them performing a slightly off-kilter fusion dance. Now, this means we'll likely see Gotenks make an appearance. Fat form, skinny form, old man form, it all depends on if they're able to, nail that pose right with the fingers. Yeah. Now, what's so cool about this is the first time outside of Dragon Ball GT that we've seen Goten and Trunks aged up, seeing them in their teenage form. So it'll be pretty interesting exploring their dynamic as they are now, as well as finding out more about the new villain who is likely taking over for Dr. Gero with his new, seemingly far more advanced androids. Now, will the movie be any good? What other surprises are in store for us? Find out on the next exciting episode of Entertainment Fix. JK, we're probably going to be talking about something else. But in other anime news, the Jujutsu Kaisen Zero English sub-trailer is out right now, giving us a sneak peek at what's in store for us when the movie releases in North America March 18th. Now, it's a prequel telling the story of the early days of Jujutsu High. The animation looks super duper clean in this one, and it's all thanks to Studio Mappa. Studio Mappa, I don't know, they can never miss. They're always hitting it out of the park. I love what they do. Now, looking forward to this one, and we don't have to wait too much longer to see this one in theaters in North America since it drops March 18th. Now, after seeing Daredevil star Charlie Cox reprise his role as Matt Murdock in No Way Home, fans of course have been excited for what that might mean for the future of the Marvel superhero in the MCU. Like, will we see him pop up in another MCU property or perhaps star in another one of his own? Well, speaking in an interview with Radio Times, the actor might have just given fans the confirmation that this isn't the last we'll be seeing of the man without fear. Now, while not giving much away, Cox said, quote, "I know something. I don't know much, but I know there will be something else." Now, what that something else might be is anyone's guess. Perhaps another appearance in an upcoming Marvel movie or maybe on a future Disney Plus Marvel series. Now, with the Kingpin making an appearance on the Hawkeye series, it's likely that those two might run into one another yet again at some point in time. And with both Kingpin and Murdock appearing to make the jump into the MCU so close to one another, with No Way Home released last December and Hawkeye just a month prior in November, it's likely the Marvel forces that be might have something larger planned for the Daredevil universe within the overall MCU. And we'll have to wait and see what else is in store as the months and years progress in Phase 4 of the MCU. Now, speaking of Phase 4, a new trailer and poster just dropped of Season 4 of Ozark as they head into Part 2 of their very own endgame for the Netflix series. Premiering April 29th, the trailer notes that the end arrives sooner than you think, teasing the conclusion of the dark and suspenseful drama. Along with that, we also got this really eerie poster with 3 flying crows, adding to the very foreboding atmosphere painted in the imagery. Now, you'll definitely want to get caught up on this series as we head into the final episodes come April 29th. Well, it looks like the unimaginable is happening over at Disney+. The streaming service is expanding their programming to TVMA territory, serving as the new hub for one-time Netflix originals Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, The Punisher, and the Defenders limited series, as well as Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, with the Netflix original shows now on Disney+, well, this sets a new standard for the family-friendly programming the streaming service has been known for. Now, Disney Plus will be updating its existing parental controls in the US to accommodate the TVMA programming. Now, this, of course, is a smart move by Disney as they look to continue their subscriber growth. And what better way to do so than broadening the range of content on the platform to cater to those that want a little blood, sex, and foul language in their entertainment, baby. Now, this does, however, bring up the question of if certain episodes of shows like The Punisher and Luke Cage will be edited slightly to omit certain scenes that may be too over the top for Disney's standards. Now, you might remember back in 2020, the streaming giant altered a scene in the 1984 movie Splash using CGI hair to cover up actress Daryl Hannah's naked booty. Now, while mature content is to be expected with TVMA, Disney Plus isn't above editing or altering content in their programming. Now, outside of that, with these shows surfacing over on Disney Plus, there's a potential for a revival of some of these series. Now, you never know. I mean, honestly, you really never know, because if viewership picks up on some of these shows on the streaming service Disney Plus, maybe we'll, see some of the characters integrated in future Marvel Disney Plus ventures. Only time will tell. Now, hopping on over to the multiverse, Patrick Stewart confirms that was indeed his voice we heard in the Doctor Strange 2 trailer premiere during the Super Bowl. Now, speaking with the YouTube channel Jake's Takes, Professor Xavier had this to say.
I actually didn't recognize my own voice. It sounded different. Whether I had a cold or something at the time, I don't know.
Now, he went on to talk about how pleased he was that people were able to make the connection that it was in fact him, even though we weren't able to see much outside of a vague silhouette. I mean, but come on now, it's Marvel fans, Sir Stewart. We're used to getting very limited information and then filling in the blanks. Lastly, filling in the blanks is Moon Knight's alter ego, Mr. Knight. Now, check out this new poster Marvel Entertainment dropped of the police consultant known as Mr. Knight. Now, Mr. Knight made his debut in Moon Knight Volume 7. Now, this is just one of the alter egos we'll be seeing when Moon Knight hits Disney Plus March 30th. Filming has wrapped on the Indy 5 film nearly 14 years since Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull premiered in theaters. Now, the news comes from producer Frank Marshall, where he tweeted out this image calling it a wrap on the latest adventure. Now, director of Indiana Jones 5, James Mangold, also tweeted to commemorate the moment. This image from Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's pretty dope. Now, very little is known about the 5th outing, but we do know Harrison Ford will be reprising his role as the titular character in the film, concluding the iconic character's journey. Now, the film was initially going to be directed by Steven Spielberg before he handed the reins over due to a few disagreements he had over the script. Now, he will, however, help out in a producer role on the film. Now, what's interesting to note is that while this will be the last film to star Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones, Steven Spielberg did assure audiences in an interview that the franchise will continue on, possibly having the Explorer take on a different form or new look, whatever that means. Now, that's probably good news for fans. Perhaps, they'll expand the Indy universe and we'll see someone else take on the iconic hat and whip. Now, Indiana Jones 5 is set to hit theaters June 30th of next year. Now, from one adventurer to another, it looks like Uncharted remains the domestic winner this weekend at the box office, pulling in $23.2 million in ticket sales. Now, so far, the Tom Holland-led movie has pulled in $220 million globally, proving that, a well-timed release can earn you big bucks at the box office. Now, according to Variety, Uncharted's second weekend brought the movie's domestic total to $83.3 million, with Channing Tatum's dog, that's the name of the movie, it's not his actual dog that he owns in real life, it's Channing Tatum's dog, the movie, and No Way Home coming in second and third respectively. We currently have a Tom Holland sandwich at the domestic box office. Tom is honestly, he's definitely having the time of his life right now. You know who else is having the time of his life? The Batman's Robert Pattinson, baby. Now, apparently, the guy's a gamer, and he recently shared his love for Final Fantasy VII during an interview with French media outlet Click TV. Now, he breaks down the love triangle between Cloud, Aerith, and Tifa, trying his best to describe the complicated relationship to a bewildered Zoe Kravitz. Take a look.
It's a love triangle where Aerith or Aerith, depending on what version of the game you have, sometimes it's mistranslated. Like, she's like the really kind girl who has her superpower is like to heal everyone and make the world a better place.
Poor women, we have to heal everyone.
And then Tifa's like this sexy little thing who's like a thief and stuff. She wears a short skirt, and you're like, I can't decide.
You know what? It's always so hard trying to explain JRPGs to people who aren't familiar. So major props to Robert Pattinson for at least trying in a very eloquent fashion.
I'm Stella Chung, and that was your Weekly Fix. We'll be back here next Saturday with more of the biggest gaming and entertainment news of the week. Catch you then.